Hello, good afternoon. It's Pip here from queenpipcards.com, and this is my Moody Monday afternoon pickup. Hopefully it's a bit better weather where you are. It's absolutely been mizzly and murky and grey today here. And I know that for some reason this Monday seems a bit low, really. I guess it's because we've had some sun and then they took it all away. It's like we've had summer, that was it, you've missed it, flash, it's gone. So I think it just feels a bit worse today because it's all just miserable and grey. So I hope wherever you are, you're having a bit more sunshine than I am. Today I'm going to be chatting about the Good Man stamp set, which is one of the new ones from the new catalogue, and I fell in love with it straight away. As soon as I saw it, I thought, yep, like that one. Did have someone at my launch who decided they didn't like it at all, but that's okay, that's allowed, because we don't all want to be the same, do we? So yeah, but everybody else liked it, so that was good. But I do think it's one of those where either it's going to appeal to you or it isn't. Some people just don't like this sketched look of things, or just don't have a lot of men in their lives that they're going to want to send stamps, cards to. So that's fine too. But for those of us who do have men in our lives and we want to send things to, then this is a good stamp set for that. Okay, so I don't know what that funny line is, but I'm hoping it's just on my screen and not on the thingy. I've got a funny black line going across my screen here. Anyway, so this is the stamp set we're going to use. These are two of the cards that we did at my launch. We did a class in the morning, which was See the World, which had Well Said and Above the Clouds. And then in the afternoon, we used this stamp set, A Good Man, and the Sailing Home Suite. So the Sailing Home stamp set, the Sail Away papers, and etc. So in the afternoon, I thought, right, well, we need to put all the papers, you know, we're going to get half a pack of the, or a sixth of the pack of the designer series papers, so I needed to make them match. So it went very much with the greens and the browns and the blues and the whites. And they're lovely cards. I mixed this bit in here. This is from High Tide, and everybody liked them. That's great. So that was good. But I wanted to do something different today. Hello, if you're watching, come and say hi. Give us a thumbs up or something, because I can just see that a couple of people are watching, but I don't know who you are or what you're doing, what you're up to today, whether you're happy, having a good day. Come and tell us, come and chat. So yeah, these were good, but we didn't use this stamp at my class, so I wanted to use that stamp, and I wanted to do something in a completely different colourway. I wanted to bring in some reds. So today I'm making this up, kind of making this up as I go. I have an idea in my head, but I haven't actually. Hey, Di's on. Hi, sis. And Linda too. Oh, lovely to see you both. So I haven't created one of these to show you beforehand, so we're just going to make it together. But you know, that's my favourite way of doing things at the moment. So I thought we'd have a real red card base and then a whisper white. This is 10 by 14.4. And then I've stamped up a whole bunch of these words. I like the thanks to you, I grew up loved. I love that sentiment. And you know, it's definitely true that I definitely grew up loved by my family. So that's really cool. And this one really speaks to me about that as well. So, and there's going to be many more things where I talk about this later on this week. I get completely soppy in one of my blog posts. But anyway, so I thought what I'll do is I'll chop out these and then we can decide as we go along which one we think suits best. Hey Di, it's really nice to see you. I hope you're feeling well. Right, so I'm bringing on my Big Shot. It's going to make things a little bit noisy and whatever, a bit shiny, so I apologise for that, but we'll get through that as soon as we can. So the thing I've discovered about these rectangles is that the more on a skew if you can do them, the better. So I might actually just chop this one off. Putting these things through your Big Shot or your Cutterberg or whatever you've got, if you can do them sort of diagonally, as it were, then they definitely cut better. So, well, I think I need new plates. These are getting a bit scratched. You can't really see very much through there, but anyway, let's give that a go. So, putting them through on the, oh, it's going too bright. putting them through on the wonk, as I call it, definitely cuts them really well. So you can just pop those out. There we go, and then we get these lovely stitched shapes. And then I'm going to do the other one. So I line, just going to line this one up on here. Take that one out as well. They do stick to the card a little bit more because obviously they leave this stitched edge behind, as it were, but that's okay. You just have to know that and be a bit more firm when you're pulling them off. So we'll stick that on, and then we'll do this one. I thought if I did 2 red, 2 blue, then we can decide what we want. I know it's, oh no, that's not going to fit. Don't ever put them too close when you put them through your machine, because otherwise they will clonk into each other and you can actually bend your framelits. your plate's bad as well. I know, they're really bad here. And I did have a big clear out. I chucked a whole bunch away. Look, I didn't chuck them, I recycled them. I sent them off to the recycling plant because I figure, well, they're plastic, they must be able to do something with it. So, and they've got a better chance of doing something with it than I have. So I did that, and then I thought, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that because the rest of them are getting pretty bad too. Still, never mind. We persevere. So I'm just going to do this one as well. Oh, it stuck to my finger. There we go. Yeah, so I'm using washi tape just purely because it's a bit bent. My plates are a bit bendy. And you don't need a massive diagonal, and the little ones are much easier to put through. It's the big ones that especially have that wonky, that corner bit going on. Right, so that's them. Now, the next thing I decided I wanted a frame, so I thought I'd show you how to make a frame. I'm going to take that off because that's blinding you. I'll just pop that over there for a second. So I've cut this piece of real red cardstock, and I've cut this to be the same size as my Whisper White Face. So it's a 10 by 14.4. Okay, and that helps you so that you can line up and know where your, how your frame will fit. And then I'm using the rectangle dies. I'll just show you which ones I've got out. So out of this big set here, I've taken the largest one and then the third largest one. So I've left a gap in the middle. And first of all, we're cutting the smaller one. Okay, so we're going to chop that. And I've positioned it like that because I know that's what I want my frame to look like when it's on my card. So we'll put that in there, put that on the diagonal. Now you're not going to get much of a diagonal, but you're going to get some, and every bit helps, I've found, with these. So put that on there. Okay. And if it bends the cardstock, I don't really mind on the corners because I'm not actually going to use this one. And this time I will actually whip it through twice, just so that it has a good strong cut. Okay, and you can see now that should have cut out all the way through. And you can generally tell, because if you run your fingers along it, you can see the metal, especially if you've got nails like I have, so that's good to know. And then you should be able to just take it off your washi tape and it'll pop out like that. But actually that's the bit we don't want, so we get rid of that. This is the bit we want, the bit that's left behind. So we take the washi tape off. Take the plate out so you can see better. She says getting her arm in the way. So we take this washi tape off because we just want this bit that's left behind. Okay. And then what we'll do is we'll take the washi tape off of this one, and we take our big one, and now we're going to layer our large one. Can you see that? I'm going to take that out of the way. There we go. And we've got more space. Right, so you're going to layer your larger frame over the opening, and what that's going to do is give you a frame that you can then use. So I want to chop this, try and get it equal. Always a bit hard when I'm looking at it from an angle with my dodgy astigmatism, but we'll hope that that's straight. Okay, if it isn't, then well, we'll just live with it. Okay, Oh, it's not too bad. Okay. So then we'll whack that one through again. And if you have a cuttlebug or something that's not as strong, or I don't know, I just find that they do struggle with stitched shapes in the cuttlebug a little bit. I found the best thing to do is to just turn the whole thing over. So I'll show you that in a second, what I mean by that. So we'll go through once, we'll come back again. Sorry for the shaking. This is the last bit of die cutting, so we don't need to worry about that anymore. I'll put that down there. So when I say put it through upside down, when you put it through on a cuttlebug, I would lay it this way down. So I'd put the framelit underneath, or the die underneath, and then the cardstock, and then my plate, and then I'd run it through the machine. And that does work with machines that are not quite, you know, it doesn't have quite the push or the strength of the Big Shot. And sometimes you'll find that your Big Shot doesn't have the same pressure as somebody else's Big Shot. And again, that's perfectly normal. All machines have a tolerance, and all machines are not quite the same pressure. So in some cases you might need a shim, or you might need to turn it upside down, because I've found that works. So now I'm left with, having cut that all out, I'm now left with a big frame which I can use for something, a small mat which I can use for something, and then the frame that I actually want to use in the centre. Okay, so that's how I do that. And then, now I'm not sure how this is going to look, okay, because I don't know whether I should stamp this in black and white or if I should just stamp it in navy, because I really want it almost a monochrome with just a touch of red to go behind. I like to just bring it out as an accent. So you can either be very brave. First of all, you need to get off your furry bits. Do tend to get furry bits, especially with the stitched ones, because you've got little tiny holes of things coming out all the time. So just give it a bit of a rub. All they are the little bits that are coming out from the holes, you know, because you created the holes in the stitched shape. Okay, get rid of them. Okay, yeah, so I'm not sure, do I just want to go like all in red and then maybe have a bit of blue for the wording? Could do that, that might work. Or do I want to do him in navy as well? Decisions. I might just wing it and try it and see. So the best thing to do with that would be to layer up roughly where you want that to be, and then stamp through it, because this doesn't actually attach, it doesn't actually stamp into the frame area. Now you could put another sheet underneath and lift the whole thing up if you wanted to. That's also possible. I'm looking around for my inks. Here we go. Let's try them in red first, shall we? See what that does. Linda says black. Really? Do you think black? I don't know. I'm not going to colour it. I'm just going to leave it as is. So I'm going to try it in red, see what it looks like. It might look a bit gory. Who knows? And then I'm going to come down here, down sort of there-ish. See, that looks quite cute, doesn't it? Let's do another one in blue and see what that looks like. I love the fact that we can just try it. You know, it's just stamps. It's not like you're painting for hours. So we'll take that one out, put that one in. I will clean off my stamp because obviously it needs cleaning. Don't want to contaminate my night navy with my real red. Let's see. Might look better in blue, I don't know. We shall see. And then stamp it down again. See, now that looks good too, doesn't it? What are you thinking, guys? Di says blue, Linda says black. Blue, I guess, is as close to black as we're going to get. So then that one on there, and that one on there, and then in which case definitely not red. Well, red maybe, or blue. I'm thinking blue. Too much blue. Maybe one of each. Yeah, one of each doesn't look too bad. It's actually quite a long, thanks to you, but I do want to put something up here because I think otherwise it would be off balance. I can move that up a smidge, like that, because we haven't set it in stone yet. Then I could pop that along there and that along there. So we've still got the edges showing. What do we think? Like that? I don't think like that. I don't like that. I think like this. There we go. What do we think? Or maybe just the blue. Blue and blue. And I see, I think I like the red bit in there. What do we think? What have we got? Who have we say? I've got a comment down here. Yes, one of each. Yeah, I think so. I think you're right, Joe. I think one of each is probably better. I wonder if it should be the blue and then the red. But I don't know. That's quite nice. Yeah, maybe that one. Maybe red down here rather than the blue down here. Isn't it difficult? Maybe I'll make one of each. Maybe that's the way to do it. And then decide. Yeah, I think I like the red down there. So let's go with that. And then we can just put these away. So, right, we've got more comments coming in now. Yeah, I think so too, one of each. Yeah, it is great when you can experiment. Exactly. It is, Di, it's really good. So if you're watching this on YouTube and you can't see any of the comments, Di's saying that it's great when you can experiment with different layouts and things without actually having to commit yourself straight off. And I think it's so true. It's really good. I love that about stamping. A bit of paper, a bit of ink, and you can try so many different things. Okay, so let's do this then. I mean, this is going to be really quick and short today, guys, because quite frankly, this is one of the easiest stamp sets I've worked with in terms of speed of generating a card, which I think is fantastic. And if you don't have a die machine, a die cutting machine, then you know you can always either cut your layers by hand. We did that the other week, or you could just punch out the words and maybe draw a border in. Or there's the beautiful stamp set, the swirly frame stamp set that's in the catalogue. Let's see if I can find that, because that would be really great for this too. One of our team, Trudy, one of Di's team, Trudy's been doing some great stuff with the swirly frames. Swirly frames. It's on page 117 of the catalogue. So if you've got one, go and grab it and have a look. But that frame there, if we turned it this way, I have a feeling, I'm not going to put it down, but yeah, look at that. Perfect, fits in there perfectly. So you could just do a frame. I'm going to get this set because I just think it's fantastic. You could do a frame, a stamped frame, with exactly the same way of working, and it would look just as good, I think. And then you could just punch these out, classic label, or cut it out on a very thin strip of white card, and that will punch out of this darling label. It fits, the words fit right into that darling label shape. So you could just punch that out and have exactly the same effect. So, you know, don't think that you can only make these kind of cards if you have a frame, because a die cutting machine, because you don't. That's not true. Okay, so now we're going to do some sticking, and I want this to be, where's my thingy? I want this to be layered up. So I'm just using if you've got the frame strips, to get them apart, I find the easiest thing is to just take your pick spatula end and then just yeah, yeah, Di, she's convinced me to order those frames now as well. Because I think they're much more versatile than I've actually really even thought about. But if you take your pick tool with the spatula, you can just run them down these edges, and then I chop into mine because I'm a rebel like that, and then it's much easier to get these out because they just come apart. So you know, because you've lifted them off, as it were, from each other, so they're not attached to each other anymore, except at the top. My fingers apparently. Right, there we go. So I am going to use these down the side of my frame here, because this gives a really nice strong hold and means that you can attach things to the frame knowing that it's not going to buckle or give. Now we might take this one. Did I take this one? No. There we go. This one just again. And this, I find it stops them, if you do it like this, it stops them coiling up and becoming too sort of bendy. It keeps them quite nice and straight and flat. There we go. And you don't have to worry about chopping up dimensionals or getting it into the right shape, or you know, doing all of that kind of stuff, because they're just straight lines, so these are much easier to work with. They're slightly thicker, so you do have to bear that in mind, but I think they're worth it. And then if you get a piece like this that's too long, you just chop that off and pop that down there like that. Excellent. Okay, so we'll use some more of those in a moment. So just peel off your backing. Okay. And it is quite sticky, but once you get one end of it going, you're off and running. Okay, so now I'm going to put this quite far up because I want the feet to be pretty, that's about straight, isn't it? Ooh, is it straight? Just about. You'd tell me if I was really wonky, wouldn't you? There we go. That looks right, I think. Phew. Yeah. I always forget to look in my screen so that I can see where I'm going. I should do that more often, but I never remember. Okay, so now we're going to place this one along here, and I'm going to use the same strips just underneath this piece here so that it lifts it up enough to get over that frame and have something to hang on to. And then I'm going to glue just about here where it's going to actually go across the frame. I quite like that going. Does it need to go a bit, yeah, about there, I think. Straight. Ooh, no, that's not straight now. Ah, come on, go straight. I really wanted it to just go across to the edge. There we go, like that. That's okay. These sticky bits out of the way. So how's it with you guys? Is it mizzly? Is it wet? Is it sunshiny? Linda, I know you're just down the road really, so although sometimes that doesn't make any difference, it could be just as different weather down the road as it is far away, but it's, I definitely feel like sun has left us for a bit. Okay, let's see. I think I want to leave a little bit of that corner in, or do I? Or does it look better with the corner out? No, I think it does look better with the corner in. Yeah, because we need a bit of that red. So again, we'll just pop this down here. It won't be exactly the same height because you'll be going over the frame, but close enough. Close enough. There we go. There we go. Oh, yeah, it's raining down there with you, Di, and it's grey with Linda. Yeah, it's not nice, is it, today? Stamping. It's definitely a crafty day, that's what I say. When it's middly outside, it's time to get crafting. Now, where did I put my lid? There we go. So there you go. That is a pretty simple card, but it's quite nice, I think, in the blue and the blue and the red. Quite simple, but quite stylish. Quite me. I do quite like them like this. And you could also use these bits, you know, as well with another card quite easily, or add them to something else. So there you go, a good man. We all need a good man. I've got a very good man. He's very good to me. Even on Saturday when I'd forgotten something, which I always do. I hadn't brought enough Mossy Meadow cardstock, so he found my Mossy Meadow cardstock in my card thing and brought it down to the hall so that everybody could have enough Mossy Meadow to do their cards with. And I was mortified that I'd forgotten enough to do. I can't believe I did that. I think I swapped out the card at the last minute when I did my instructions. I put another one in, and I'd forgotten to put enough cardstock, so I had 2 sheets spare, but I needed like 3 or 4 sheets just to do some die cutting with and punching and stuff, you know. It wasn't masses, but I was like, oh, how can I forget that? So anyway, so Sean came to the rescue yet again. He's such a star. All my customers love him. They're all like, oh, Sean's coming to see us again. And they all think he's really good that he actually knows where Mossy Meadow is and what it is and all that. So there you go. Anyway, look how different they look, you know, just with some different colours. You could do it with any colour you wanted. You could make it autumnal, you could make it Christmassy even, you know, you could just, I mean, definitely birthdays, Father's Day. I think a card for a dad, you know, who's maybe their kids going off to school and they get a little bit heartbroken too by that. It's not just the mums, you know. So something like that, but also to your grandson who's, you know, to your son who's got a daughter, a granddaughter or grandson, you know, just to say you're doing a good job as a dad, you know, because there's some great phrases in here. Look, you do a great job of being a great guy. You know, that's nice to say to a son-in-law or something, isn't it? I think. Being a good dad starts with being a good man. There's just some really nice stuff in there. We don't celebrate our men enough. And I have to say that's one of the things that is the highlight of my trip. So next month, Sean and I are off to the Greek Isles on the incentive trip. And what's really nice is at the first general session where they give us our catalogues and, you know, they give us some news and they do some presentations and all that kind of stuff. But they make all of the supporting the people who are there as supporters first guests to the demonstrators. They make them stand up and we give them a big round of applause to say thank you for their support, because without them I couldn't, there's no way I could do this job without Sean. He's such a help to me. And so they get a big whoop, you know, and he found it a bit funny at first, but he was quite happy when he started getting presents. So so it's nice that they are celebrated too. So anyway, I've waffled on quite enough for today. I hope, oh hi, Barry's on, or Jay, hello, nice to see you, coming back after your lovely cruise holiday. I know you had a good time, but it's nice to see you back here. But yeah, I think it's just nice to celebrate the men in our lives, you know, whether they are husbands, brothers, sons, grandsons, friends, teamies, you know, whatever, dads, obviously, you know, uncles, whatever. So there you go. Hope that's given you a little bit of a pickup. Thanks for being so interactive, guys. I've really enjoyed you telling me what you like and what you think. And I hope to see you next week for my next Moody Monday Pick Me Up. And throughout the week, I'll be doing more shares and tips and tricks on colouring and stuff like that this week. So tune in and keep a watch out on my blog and on my YouTube channel. And I will see you again soon. Alrighty, you take care for now, everybody. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.